Guys, I hate to give you shit, but you gave him a pretty shitty intro, so let's give him a really big outro. So, I was never really good at goodbyes, which made me really thankful that my birth father never said it. So, at the end of the show, we're going to be doing some improv games. Yeah, I know, I'm excited. We're going to be playing Hashtag Wars. It's a game from at midnight, and then we're going to close the show with Set List. If you guys don't know Set List, it is where comedians just hear a topic and just off the top of their head try to make it funny. I give them 90 seconds to do some stand-up on the topic, and we see if it works. It's a really good exercise for the comics, and it occasionally gets to be really, really funny. So, what I need from you guys, I used to put note cards everywhere, but everybody just gave up on those. So, I'm pretty much just going to sit here and until I get enough suggestions for set list, and then the next comic will come on. So, guys, what would you like to hear comedians talk about at the end of the show, just in general? That sounds like Hashtag Wars.
Manginas.
What?
Just go with manginas.
Manginas.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna need at least 15 subjects. So just anything you can think of, a general subject. Ebola, I heard. Anyone else?
Cigarettes and dope.
Cigarettes / dope.
That's two topics. Just they're both
Zombie
I'm in charge. What's up?
Zombie sex.
Zombie sex.
Getting lost in a Korean Walmart.
All right. Guys, these sound like improv scenes. These are general topics for stand-ups. These do not have prepared material on this. Let's say Walmart, and let's say Korea. All right? Not getting lost in a Korean Walmart. That's very specific.
Go with unexpected butt sex.
I'll say butt sex.
Unexpected butt sex.
We're not creating a scene. We're coming up with topics. Target. See, very good.
Bojangles.
What's up?
You do it.
Bojangles.
Restaurant?
I've never been there. Do you guys? Does everyone else know what Bojangles is? All right, I'm writing it down.
Interracial dating.
All right, that's good. Anyone else?
Awkward cell phone rings. Awkward cell phones rings.
All right, I'll put cell phone awkwardness.
Interconnectivity in the decline of modern society.
I will put the decline of modern society. That's actually pretty broad, given everything that's happening.
Rather see some pink rabbits.
Airline food.
You know what? I know that was a joke suggestion, but I'm totally gonna write down airline food. God bless what our comedian just said. All right. Either Brooks or Rosie is getting Rosie's tits. That should be enough. All right, are you guys ready for your next comic? Thank you for those suggestions. All right, everybody, keep it going. I mean, it's not going, but let's get it going. Yeah, keep it going for our own Trevor Stewart.
You know, it's really good to be here. And I know I say that every time I get on stage, but this time it is really good to be here. I just got done with a 2-week state-sponsored vacation. I did about 16 days of a 15-day sentence. That's some real Orange County math for you. And I got pulled over in Palmyra for DWB, driving while black. The cop walks up to my car and goes, I smell marijuana. Can I search your car? I said, no. So it doesn't matter, I'm gonna anyway. Now, let me tell you all a little something about Palmyra, Virginia. They have 1 stop sign, 2 cops, and 1 cruiser. And all of a sudden, it turned into 5 cops 6 cruisers, and a whole pack of canine units. They had drug sniffing dogs, they had bomb sniffing dogs, they had body sniffing dogs. This must have been the biggest drug bust they'd seen in a long time. It was disturbing to me. They pulled me out of the car. They made me, try to walk a straight line, say my ABCs backwards, tap dance T for 2. I can't do this at the best of times, but apparently when I'm stoned, I'm all America's Got Talent and stuff. I amazingly passed all of the sobriety checks, and the cop looks at me and goes, "Well, I'm going to charge you with reckless driving," which I couldn't contest. I hadn't gotten into a wreck. Reckless driving. As they were looking through my car, tearing it apart, looking for that little bit of dope I had, little bit, they found a cute little dagger that I'd forgotten I had and forgot it had fallen into the floorboard, and started talking about, "Oh, we've got a concealed weapon." Concealed weapon? Weapon? What makes you say that? "Oh, it's sharp and pointy. You could hurt us with it." You guys carry mace, tasers, you guys carry guns. What am I going to do with a 3-inch blade? Of course, these are the same kind of guys who think that this is 6 inches. That must have looked like a freaking sword to them. It took the judicial system a while to get me through this and into court, and about a year. They ended up giving me reservations at this nice little place called Central Virginia Regional Jail in Orange. I showed up the Friday after my court, checked in like they asked me to. Apparently, CVRJ had not gotten my reservations. They wouldn't let me in. So they said, come on back next week. I'm sure we'll have this taken care of. I said, okay, I guess. I thought I was getting smart. I called ahead to see if they had my reservations. "I'm sorry, we are not allowed to give out that kind of information." Really? Really? I showed up the next Friday. They still weren't trying to let me in. I made them check the list twice, and there at the bottom of the list I was. They went ahead and brought me in. They processed me, classified me, and orientated me, and all these other verbs that included rubber gloves and smile, squat, and cough. As this was going on, one of them was looking over my paperwork and says, "Oh my, you can't do that." Well, of course not. I got arrested for it. "But what part of this do you mean I can't do?" They look at me and say, "Well, you're not allowed to take a gun into a bar." I said, "Gun in a bar? I had a knife in a car." Who wrote this? Dr. Seuss? This is the worst game of Clue ever. So, when you go to jail, people give you a lot of advice. The one bit of advice I got, though, was when you get there, there's going to be this one big, scary, crazy-looking guy on the block, somebody you don't want to even talk to. I got to the block and I looked around, and everybody looked pretty normal to me. Looking at me like I'm crazy because I was off of my meds. You would have thought, a lot of you would have thought that I'd have been happy to be in a room full of mans, and that might have done something for me. Because, it's not rape if I'm into it. It turns out that I don't like straight guys. Who knew? Oh, he knew. A round of applause for my boyfriend. Now, I'd like to talk for a moment about the guards in jail, the corrections officers, the COs. These are, how best to explain it? Most of them couldn't pass the physical to get into the police academy. Those that could failed out of the police academy. And I don't mean the school, I mean those awful movies from the 80s. I kind of want to call them a bunch of, a-hole bullies. But I don't want to insult a-holes and bullies like that. It's just not fair to them. These guys weren't really even worth the amino acids that their Deliverance County DNA was printed on. Paddle faster out here, banjos. Another fine example of Orange County public schools. Even a cup of yogurt had more culture than these guys. I'm not saying that I want to go back to jail. I'm not saying that I liked being in jail, but that is the best that I have ever gotten, along with a bunch of right-wing, heterosexual Christians. And some of them do still owe me some honey buns and coffee from commissary. Nice guy, Swallow. I had to get all of that off of my chest. I had to talk about that because it was kind of upsetting. So I'm gonna try and make you all laugh with some actual jokes here. How do you know that you've had a hippie staying on your couch? He's still there. What does a hippie say? What does that hippie say when you ask him to leave? Namaste. How do you know he's really finally gone? Your house is clean, your bowl is clean, and your daughter's gone. Wow, this set went a lot quicker than I thought it would. My last joke. A cowboy walks into town. It's a deserted town. Walks into the saloon. Bartender, I'll have a whiskey. Bartender brings him a whiskey. Says, I noticed that nobody's around. Where is everybody? Oh, well, they're all off at the hanging. Okay, who are they hanging? His name's Paper Pete. Why do they call him Paper Pete? Because he wears a paper hat, a paper shirt, paper pants, and paper boots, and rides in a paper saddle. And why is he being hung? For rustling.